So shout out to the Mavs, man. Shout out to the Mavs. You know what I'm saying? Doing big things. Let's talk about somebody who's doing a lot of small things, man. And that is going to be the Milwaukee Bucks. So the Milwaukee Bucks are fucking hot garbage. Let me say that again. They're hot garbage. Over the past couple of days, we have losses to the Knicks. We have the Knicks are a good team, so got that. We have losses to the Raptors, losses to the Grizzlies, losses to the Wizards. Let's see. They lost to the Lakers. Yeah, man, just not great basketball, man. And I think that for them to be hitting this little lull with with 4 games left into the season. Listen, they've already been up and down as it is. They've already been, turbulent. They started off, they started off being controversial. Even when they were 31-13, they were like kind of seen as a team as like they should be better than they are. But then they bring in Doc fucking Rivers, and then they're basically a 500 team, and now you're just like, damn, all this shit is really kind of over. And I ain't gonna lie, the only reason why I want to talk about the Bucks is because I don't want to talk about Doc anymore. I've already talked about Doc Rivers. My feelings on Doc Rivers have already been known on this channel. What I will not stand for any longer is this shit with Giannis, right? I believe that Giannis, when he won that championship in 2021, I believe that was the year, was 2021. I believe he got catapulted into a stratosphere that he, at this point, I'm going to say almost doesn't deserve to be in. Because right now, Giannis is regarded as one of the best players in the sport of basketball. You know what I'm saying? His stat, if you look at his stats, they back up these claims. You know what I'm saying? I believe this year he's averaging over 30 and 10, right? He's already a 2-time champion, already won a Defensive Player of the Year award, might have won 2 already. Multiple-time All-Star, champion, Finals MVP. And when he won that championship, added to that to all his resume, he got lifted up to a stratosphere where he is now like regarded as like a made man because he won that championship. And I honestly think if he had not won that fluke ass championship, and I'm gonna say it's a fluke ass championship because when you just look at how everything surrounded around him, it was crazy. So first and foremost, we have the Boston Celtics. They have a bad year that year. I believe Jaylen Brown is hurt, so Jason Tatum has to go into the playoffs by himself, and I believe they're only a 7th seed or something like that because they played against the Nets. So boom, the Nets beat the Celtics in 5, right? Beat the Celtics in 5, so they don't have to worry about the Celtics, a team that has historically given them problems every single time they face them. So they don't have to worry about the Celtics. Shout out to for Milwaukee. Now for round 2. In round 2, James Harden gets hurt. Kyrie Irving gets hurt by Giannis. In game 4, he hurts his ankle. He's out for the series. James Harden has to come back and play on one hamstring the entire playoffs. They eventually still almost lose that series, but now because Kevin Durant wears a size 28 instead of a size 25, his foot is on the line. They go to overtime. The Nets don't have enough tank in the gas. Bucks win and they move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. In the second round, though, on the other side of the bracket, we have the Atlanta Hawks playing against the Philadelphia 76ers. The 76ers, most years, if they weren't one coached by Doc Rivers and 2 employing Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons at the time, they probably win that series 9 times out of 10. However, because of the players that I just named before, that 1 times out of 10 can fucking come to fruition. Doc Rivers it up. Joel Embiid plays decent. You know what I'm saying? He has a couple of questionable games here and there that's able to keep Atlanta in it. And then the Ben Simmons situation happens, and I believe it was game 6 or 7, one of them. You know what I'm saying? He has the opportunity to score on Trae Young to give them a lead. He ends up passing it off. It goes to Matisse Thybulle. Matisse Thybulle gets fouled, splits the free throws. Atlanta ends up winning that game and the series, right? So now we have got literally when they talk about a perfect scenario playing out for you, we've already had that happen so far for the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to play against Joel Embiid and the Sixers. We don't have to play against fucking we don't have to play against the Boston Celtics. The Brooklyn Nets are actually a team that we actually match up with very well because they don't have great length in the paint. We are a team that dominates in the paint. We have Bobby, we have Brooke, we have Giannis. We're going to dominate in the paint. So, you know what I'm saying? You also add in a couple of injuries for the Brooklyn Nets. And now we're in the conference finals. They go into that series against Atlanta. Don't get me wrong, not everything was peaches and cream for them. Giannis gets hurt. You know what I'm saying? He hurts his knee. I believe he ends up missing the last 2 games of that series. But the Bucks are able to pull that series off. Let me just say that it's kind of crazy that a team is able to win the Eastern Conference Finals with its best player, superstar player missing. Just think that's a little fucking crazy. But so they now go into the NBA Finals. And they do go have some adversity. You know what I'm saying? The Phoenix Suns, they do go up 2-0. Giannis is not looking great in game 1. He's still recovering from the whole knee injury thing. I believe he had to get a ligament removed or something like that, some cartilage removed in order for him to be able to play. But he comes back. You know what I'm saying? They are playing Chris Paul at the end of the day. Chris Paul just can't have great things happen to him. So, you know, as great as it is that he's able to make it to a finals, he's not able to win the finals because, you know, Giannis has this amazing performance. And don't get me wrong, Giannis did perform amazing in those finals. Like, definitely the last game, he gives you 50 points, and I believe it was like 20 rebounds or 15 and 17 rebounds. He hits a whole bunch of free throws. He had the block against DeAndre Ayton. He had the fucking lob dunk against on Chris Paul. Like, he had plenty of moments in that series, and that probably added to the fuel of like moving up to the stats where he didn't belong to. But he wins that championship, right? He wins that championship. You know what I'm saying? More power to him. If you want to say that things worked out perfectly for him, hey, fucking man, that's sports. Since then, this man has done nothing but been a fucking dad joke and meme machine instead of being this fucking big, great basketball player we all thought he was going to be. His numbers are fantastic. They come back the following year. Chris Middleton is hurt. I'll give him a little bit for it. But they're able to get to, I believe, a Game 7 against the Boston Celtics. The Celtics, they get a crazy game by Jason Tatum, and they're able to win that game. All right? But there's no Drew. There's no Chris. So you're not going to really beat him up too much about it. The following year, last year, they are a first seed playing against the 1-seeded Miami Heat. And they get the dog shit beat out of them in 5 games. 5 games. They get the dog shit beat out of them. So they fire their coach. And they bring in Adrian Griffin. They also get rid of the guy that helped you win that championship in 2021, Drew Holiday, the big free agent piece you brought in that year. You get rid of Drew and you bring in Damian Lillard with your big plan being like we need somebody that's gonna be able to help Giannis on the offensive end, right? The Adrian experience then takes off. They're 30-13, but Giannis is like, this is just speculation. I don't know shit to know for sure, but I feel like Giannis is like, this guy just doesn't quite get it. He doesn't quite have what I need in a head coach. You know what I'm saying? Mike Budenholzer didn't have it either. But Adrian Griffin, like, I don't like his rotation. I just think that we're disjointed. I think there's times where we look sloppy. I know we're winning games. I know we're 30-13, but I just don't think he's the right guy. So they're like, you know what, bro? No problem. Fuck Adrian Griffin. Get him out of here. Bring in Doc Rivers. And now here we are. Now we're supposed to take off. Now we're supposed to finally have the pieces that we need and you know, be able to compete with the Boston Celtics, and if not compete with the Boston Celtics, be able to maintain our status as the second best team in the East. At the very least, we have that. And while we have been having great games by Giannis, and he's putting up historic numbers, I believe, this year in terms of his efficiency and scoring 30 and 10 and all that, he has not led this team at all. They are still dog shit on defense. They're still go through these weird ass sporadic fucking lulls on offense. They still look disjointed sometimes. And as much as I want to, and it feels like low hanging fruit to blame Doc Rivers, we gotta look at Giannis, because Giannis is the nigga that's really been here the entire time. He's been the guy who's kind of been molding this kind of new foundation for the Milwaukee Bucks, and it's kind of like seems like kind of a goofy one if you ask me, because when you ask him a question like, "Oh, Giannis, do you consider this to be a failure?" he says dumb shit like, "It's not a failure, it's just steps to success." Huh? Nigga, what? That doesn't quite sound right. That's a little weird. All right, no worries. He's so heartbroken about Drew Holiday being traded, but that didn't stop him at all from trading Drew Holiday. You know what I'm saying? He's saying things like, "Oh, this is Dame's team. This is not my team." It's like, bro, what? You think that Dame left Portland to come over here and want to carry Milwaukee? No, nigga. It's supposed to be you the guy, and I'm supposed to be in this bitch aiding you, and we work together. But it just seems like Giannis doesn't quite have the it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very hard thing. I'm not a dictionary. I'm not sure what the perfect thing to say is, but he does not have that it factor and that leadership quality that you look for in a guy that is supposed to be your franchise leader, your franchise, the guy who steers the direction of your franchise. Like, I think that the Doc Rivers hire at this point is a cover-up for something bigger. I don't know what, but something's not right in that organization when it comes to Giannis in the front office. And I just feel like Adrian Griffin became the fucking scapegoat on it, because like it just hasn't been fitting. It hasn't been fitting, and I just want to say this: Giannis Antetokounmpo, you are on fraud watch, bro. This playoffs, I'll even give you next one. You have this playoffs and you have the next playoffs. If you can't get your team back to a conference finals or back to an NBA finals, bro, I ain't even gonna lie. I'm taking you off. All the progress you made to become one of the best players in the league right now, to me, you dropping back down. You're gonna end up on the same tier as Kevin Durant. Because at the very least, bro, this team needs to at least see a conference finals or NBA finals. And they better not make the conference finals and losing like fucking 6 games. They better make it at least 6 games. If you are the guy that people expect you to be, these random fucking lulls with the team just looks like absolute dog shit has to fall on you in some regard. Because you're the guy who plays all the time. You're the guy who's fucking leading this organization. You're the guy who is directing this organization. And you're the guy who the team follows. But I think that you're just so busy being a fucking goofball meme factory that you're not able to mold this team the way how it needs to be molded. And I think that when they lost a player like Drew, who I think probably did a really good job of really like shaping the mentality of the team on the defensive end, there was nobody to fill that gap. And it was supposed to be you, Mr. Defensive Player of the Year. Brook is an old ass man. Bobby Portis is fucking not a defender. It was supposed to be you, and for whatever reason, it's not. So I just want to say that for a minute, because I just think that Giannis, he can give me more. He can give the Milwaukee Bucks more, and Lord knows the Milwaukee Bucks need it.